Shabbat Shalom. We're the kind of congregation that can talk to one another. Now that we're quiet, a little bit quieter, let's try again. Shabbat Shalom. There's no sweeter sound, and there's no warmer feeling than to see our sanctuary so full. Tonight on this Shabbat, we stand together with our brothers and sisters in Pittsburgh and all those in our community who have showed up to be by our sides, to let us know we are not alone. It's been an unbelievably difficult week. What do we do in the face of such pain? We show up. We celebrate Shabbat. We sing at the top of our lungs. From Psalm 89, the words, 3 words of love, Hebrew words, Olam Chesed Yibaneh. In essence, they mean a world built from love. This world is in need of deep rebuilding, and we can do that. But we have to put chesed first, love. Kind of love that cannot be held back and that needs all of our voices. So let's sing these words together.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to everyone, our congregants, our friends, our neighbors. I first want to say thank you for coming tonight. It is incredible to see so many people here. You who have come in solidarity with the Jewish community, you who have come to pray, you who have come for strength and for fellowship. Surely this is the place to be on a night like this. We welcome each other with a greeting of Shabbat Shalom. It's something that we say every week, and we completely take for granted what it means. We are wishing each other a Shabbat, a day of rest filled with peace, Shalom. Or more specifically, it's a shortened greeting which means something to the effect of, may you find peace today from all that has troubled you in the past week, or may there be peace for us and for all the world. There was no Shabbat Shalom in Pittsburgh last week, but Shabbat Shalom is what we dream for, pray for, yearn for every Shabbat, and especially tonight. As we gather as a community in our sanctuary, we gather in solidarity with the Jewish community of Pittsburgh and Jewish communities all across the world. And we'd like to invite all of the guests who have joined us, the faith leaders from the West Bloomfield Clergy and Community Forum, and those who come from outside of West Bloomfield as well. And I'd also like to thank the singers who welcomed us so beautifully as we entered this sanctuary. And you should know, they came to us asking to sing, and we thank you so very much. Our service will be led from our prayer book, Shema Yisrael. It is the light blue book in the seat pocket in front of you or under your seat if you are in the front row. However, there will be some prayers and poetry in our service that aren't in the prayer book, and those will be on the screens instead. And so now we ask you to put away your phones and your devices for the remainder of the service. We now turn to the lighting of our Shabbat candles, and we invite Erica Bachnick and Rita London to come forward. Their uncle, Barry Werber, is a member of the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh, and he was in the sanctuary last Shabbat when the attack happened. It's been a rough week for him, as it has been for all of us, but I have been told that he is the most optimistic, kindest person you could ever know. And just as he remains hopeful for the Jewish community, so are we as we light these Shabbat candles of hope and of peace.
Be with us, God, in this time of sorrow and fear. Help us, God, to offer comfort to those whose hearts are shattered. Rekindle hope and trust and courage within us and them. Help us, God, to sustain our belief in the promise that even in the darkest times,
even when we feel most discouraged, there is reason to trust that love is never extinguished and that light and spirit will prevail.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai,
Our God, eternal source of the universe, who hallows us with the mitzvot and commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
I'd like to share this poem. You'll note that it's an acrostic with the first letter of each line spelling out Tree of Life, Pittsburgh, Tree of Life. Note that in Jewish tradition, the Torah is called our Tree of Life. Tree of Life, revive our souls, enrich our days, entreating your blessings. O God of peace, fill our hearts with a comfort, a letting your Torah shine in the fullness of our love. Faith in you, our God, eternal source of blessings, praying for healing in the depths of despair, thanking God for the survivors, thanking God for the first responders, sorrow crushing our hearts, bereaved beyond belief, united in our love, returning to you in faith, God of Israel, healer of generations. Tree of Life, Redeemer of Israel, enliven this moment with healing, enliven this moment with hope. O Rock of Israel, forget not the Jews of Pittsburgh. Let your love flow in the days ahead for justice and peace everlasting.
Service continues in your prayer books on page 34 with Lecha Dodi.
After Cantor Muckles, repeat after Cantor.
Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, b'nei Shabbat, Nikabela, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, b'nei Shabbat, Nikabela, Shamo v'zacho v'diburecha, Yishmi'anu Ercha meyuchad Adonai echad U'shemo echad Shem tiferet v'tira Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala b'nei Shabbat Nikabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala b'nei Shabbat Nikabela Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, b'nei Shabbat, Nikabela, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, b'nei Shabbat, Nikabela, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi.
Immediately following the tragedy last weekend, our teenagers came forward to us and asked that their voices be heard. And what they told us was a message of hope and healing, and later on in our service you'll be able to hear a bit of that vigil. But one of the things they shared is that this is a moment for action. Yes, it is a time for putting the pieces back together, for reaching out to our friends and to our neighbors in hope, but it is also a moment of action. This is their moment of action.
Hi, my name is Mac Bauer.
Aiden Fishkind.
Stacy Hirsch.
Andy Treppick.
Nettie Weiner.
Zach Simon.
Sydney. Ellie Provisor.
Ethan Weitzman.
Olivia Yates. Eva Goldsman. Carly Cohen.
Daniel Sivian.
Allie.
Jared Katzen.
Natalie Cooper.
Andy Shapiro.
Lexi Finkelstein.
Allie Chapnick.
Rachel Crewman.
Ariana Kravitz.
Kira Sorokin.
Skylar Alvinger.
Ariel Bauer.
Seth Kruger.
Sydney Rotenberg.
Samuel Shantz,
Allison Weiner,
Natalie. Lindsay Fleischman.
Jordan Sheffman, Blake Bordelove,
Braden Hirsch. I attend Wild Lake Central High School.
Churchill High School,
Bloomfield Hills High School.
Frankel Jewish Academy, Irvington High School,
West Hills Middle School.
Berkshire Middle School,
North Farmington High School.
Bloomfield Hills High School.
Broughton High School,
West Bloomfield High School.
Walt Whitman High School,
Hillel Day School. Providence High School.
Bloomfield Hills High School.
Berkeley High School,
North Farmington High School.
Walled Lake Northern High School,
Wild Lake Central High School.
Clifford Spark Middle School.
Irvington High School,
Groves High School.
East Brunswick High School,
Wild Lake Northern High School.
Detroit Country Day School,
Walter Johnson High School,
Wild Lake Central High School. Winston Churchill High School.
Wayne State University.
Irvington High School.
Bloomfield Hills High School.
Groves High School, and we are
Squirrel Hills Strong.
More than 7,000 emails with images of students sharing that same message, that we here in our Jewish community are Squirrel Hill Strong. That is their call to action. And now we turn in our service to this prayer of action. It is our call to worship as we rise together on page 44 with Baruch Hu. Standing as I invite you to turn to the screens and join me in our next prayer. Together, we stand as one of remembrance, united in grief, united in loss, united in the power of a promise. God has made us. God will sustain us. We give praise to this life and rise up together to renew our strength. We remain standing for this prayer, which is the watchword of our faith.
If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen.
Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way and listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen to our God. You can hear from the top of from within your soul. Close your eyes and listen. Listen to our God. Listen to our God.
As you're seated, we continue with the chanting of Ve'ahavta. Page 57.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Last week, Rabbi Jen and I stood at the waters of Auschwitz and Birkenau and said Kaddish next to a pond where the ashes of our people were cast away. Then we found redemption in the vibrancy of the Jewish Community Center of Krakow. We sang the Shema in the synagogue of Rabbi Moses Isserlis, a space now quieted by history. Then we found redemption in the colorful classroom of the first Jewish kindergarten class in Poland since the 1940s. We stood at the waters of Mikolov in the Czech Republic, home of one of the greatest Jewish minds, the Maharal of Prague. There isn't one Jewish person left in the city, and now the synagogue is a museum. But not that day. Our group brought redemption to that place. We sang Pitchu li sha'arei tzedek, open for me the gates of righteousness, the psalm written above the door. Rabbi Jen and I stood on the bima and offered the priestly blessing to the women on our trip, the first time this blessing has probably been recited since World War II. We stood at the waters of the Danube River, among the bronze shoes forever frozen in memorial of the Jews who were killed in that very space. We found redemption at Shabbat services where the music was familiar and children played on the bima and relished in the candy that the rabbi gave them. Our week was a journey from the waters of despair to the song, the poetry, and the shores of redemption. We saw it in Poles and Austrians who refused to let our history die with the millions who were killed. We saw it in the young adults who were living in the Moishe House in Budapest. We saw it in the memorials that are found everywhere in Central Europe. Our history is a repetitive journey from despair to redemption. Last Shabbat was a time of despair. Oh God, let this Shabbat be a moment of redemption. Standing with our brothers and sisters of all faiths, may we unite in a journey away from fear, hatred, and apathy towards compassion, love, and hope.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
So we turn to page 64 in the Hashkivenu. I always liked Judy Chicago's vision of a world of peace, and so you will find it on the screens. And then all that has divided us will merge, and then compassion will be wedded to power, and then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind, and then both men and women will be gentle, and then both women and men will be strong, and then no person will be subject to another's will, and then all will be rich and free and varied, and then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many, and then all will share equally in earth's abundance, and then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old, and then all will nourish the young, and then all will cherish life's creatures, and then all will live in harmony with each other and the earth, and then everywhere will be called Eden once again. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Adonai, Adonai.
time when our worries will cease. Create in this moment a shelter of peace, a shelter of peace. One more time. Hashkivenu, your turn. Hashkivenu, Adonai, Adonai, Eloheinu, Eloheinu, Lishalom, Lishalom, Ve'amidenu, Ve'amidenu, Shomreinu, Shomreinu, Shomreinu lechaim, Ushmor tzeiteinu, uvoeinu, lechaim u'lishalom, me'ata ve'ad olam. Baruch atah,
Baruch atah,
Adonai,
Adonai,
Apores Sukkah,
Sukkah,
Shalom Aleinu,
Shalom Aleinu,
Kol Amo,
Kol Amo,
Israel,
Israel,
Ve'al Yerushalayim. We pray for a time when our worries will cease. Create in this moment a shelter of peace, a shelter of peace. A shelter of peace. One last time together. A shelter of peace.
We rise together for the Amidah, page 68. Adonai, Sifatai tiftach ufi yagid hilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, ve'hanora, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei HaKol, Ve'zocher Hastei Avot ve'imahot, U'mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem, Le'mahan Shemo Be'ava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah.
When evil darkens our world, let us be the bearers of light. When fists are clenched in self-righteous rage, let our hands be open for the sake of peace. When injustice slams doors on the ill, the poor, the old, the stranger, let us pry the doors open. Where shelter is lacking, let us be builders. Where food and clothing are needed, let us be providers. Where knowledge is denied, let us be champions of learning. When dissent is stifled, let our voices speak truth to power. When the earth and its creatures are threatened, let us be their guardians. When bias, greed, and bigotry erode our country's values, let us proclaim liberty throughout the land. In the places where no one acts like a human being, let us bring courage. And together we say, even better. And together we all add, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Blessed are you, O God, who renews all things.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. As you're seated, we pray silently. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom, bimroma. Oh, say shalom, bimroma. Uyase shalom. Uyase shalom. Uyase shalom. Alleluia. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom, bimroma. Oh, say shalom, bimroma. Uyase shalom. Uyase shalom. Uyase shalom. Alleluia. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down.
When Rabbi Joseph Miller learned of the Squirrel Hill Massacre less than a mile from his own pulpit, he ordered the doors of his synagogue locked. Despite his congregants' terror that they would be next, they recited the Misha Berach together. And they didn't pray for their own protection. They prayed for the healing of others. We are here tonight to pray for our people, for our safety, for our strength, for our community, and for our souls. And most of all, we are here to raise our voices and pray for healing. Healing for those whose bodies were ravaged by bullets. Healing for those who are suffering from fear and trauma and loss and unbearable pain. And healing for all of us as we look toward the future. And I've been asked so many times this week if this is the new normal, the fear, the trauma, the loss, the pain. And I want to answer that question tonight. No, no, no. What happened in Pittsburgh is not the new normal. I want everybody to take a moment and just look around this room. Just look around the room. You're not doing it. I can see you. I want you to look at each other. I want you to look at your families, at our neighbors, at our brothers and sisters from all different faiths and traditions and backgrounds, all here to be together, to lend their love and support and friendship and kindness. This is the new normal. This sense of unity, of oneness, of passion for creating the world in which we want to live. We make what is normal, and this is it, this love. And the hatred, the bigotry, and the racism are merely shadows. And so it is with that sense of great love that we call upon the words of Misha Berach, asking God to heal our people, not just those suffering in Pittsburgh, but each and every person on God's earth. Use our love, God. Heal us. Bring us peace.
Last Saturday morning, I was here at Temple in our smaller chapel officiating a bar mitzvah service. Immediately after services, when I learned of the attack in Pittsburgh, I came into this room. I was trembling. I was looking for an answer of some kind. There was nothing happening in here, but I saw the words above our ark, Da lifnei mi ata omed. From the words of the prophets, know before whom you stand. And in that moment, I realized that I was surrounded by God's presence. And in that moment, I saw a picture of my grandfather in my mind's eye. My grandfather used to say, if there is no answer to a question, don't bother asking. And then we started moving and working and pushing forward, understanding how we would respond. Our teenagers came forward. They asked us for their voice to be heard. We listened. We gave them the forum. On Monday night, they came. They taught us. They healed us. One of those teenagers is Lily Collin. I'd like to invite her to come forward at this time. Lily is currently a senior at North Farmington High School, where she is the co-captain of the drumline. Lily is also right now the regional shlicha of the B'nai B'rith youth organization here in our region. She's an intern for Nifty with Be the Change, a social justice cohort. She's a Hillel Day School graduate. She's a Temple Israel member, and we are very proud of that. She asked to have her voice heard. We listened. Tonight, we have decided that you should hear as well. Her message is a powerful one. She will inspire us.
I've been crying this whole service, so I'm going to pull myself together. Hi, everyone. My name is Lily Collin. I'm so incredibly honored to be a part of this service and really quite beautifully overwhelmed to see all of you here today. Saturday morning, and I was in synagogue, surrounded by Jews of all backgrounds, surrounded by those who had come every Saturday for every week of their life, and surrounded by those who had come for their first time. The Torah service had concluded. Whispers of the mourner's Kaddish began to fade. The davening stopped just in time for kugel, for 7-layer cake, for bagels and lox. Don't forget the cholent. It was hilariously Jewish. It was unforgivably Jewish. It was proudly Jewish. It was home. It was compassion, it was generosity, it was family at its holiest. Saturday morning, and I was in synagogue. The rain fell outside onto the drenched autumn leaves. Laughter and an overabundance of food filled us up with warmth. I was perfectly and effortlessly content. Saturday morning, and I was in synagogue, and I was pulled aside and told 11 of our people were murdered Saturday morning in synagogue. You see, I've already chanted enough is enough. I've worn orange until it began to tatter. I've raised posters. I've shed tears. I spoke fearlessly and angrily and with such intense hope for the future. I wrote a poem after Parkland. I heard there was another shooting. I spoke my words wherever I could. But how many times can I read that poem? How many names can I keep adding to the list? The words have begun to wear, to tire. They are exhausted and ready to rest. Saturday morning, and I was in synagogue, and I was filled with a sense of ease I had been longing to feel for ages. The knots in my back began to quiet to a low hum. But I came home to a noisy and messy world unraveling before us. I came home to a world losing a battle with its longest and oldest enemy, fear. And for once, I couldn't think about our president. I couldn't think about gun laws. I couldn't think about God. All I could do was feel, and I felt endlessly. It was as if a part of my soul had been plucked. It dissipated into thin air. It was soaked in blood. The Ner Tamid had suddenly gone out. For this time it was family. This time it was home. This time it was Saturday morning in synagogue. This time it was targeted at the compassionate, at the generous, at the proud, at the faith of peace. This time it felt as if the mourner's Kaddish could never be loud enough to mend the wounds. This time no number of Mishaberach prayers could ever send enough love to those who need it most. Because this time it was us. It was all of us. This time it was Saturday morning in synagogue, and all of us were there. All of our lives were stripped away. This time I longed for the ease I had felt only hours before, but this time I knew I could never get it back. This time I knew every time I walked into synagogue on Saturday morning, I would be looking over my shoulder. This time, hate won. It tangled with us until it finally overpowered our constraints. Until we weren't looking, it waited until we began to pray. But no matter the hardship, no matter the overwhelming sorrow our people have endured, no matter the ever-growing list of fading names and stories we pass on, no matter the tattoos on our arms, no matter the death that has tried to consume us at every turn, we rise up again and again and again and again. We have created life in the face of death every single time. We stand here engulfed in hatred. We stand here in synagogue, Jew and non-Jew alike. We stand here, our deep sadness and soft tenderness filling us up with warmth. We stand here in our home with our family, creating love. In the midst of blinding hatred, we stand here unforgivably and proudly. I stopped wearing my Magen David around my neck a few years ago. It was scratchy, it nipped at my hair. But Saturday morning, I vowed to wear my necklace every day for the rest of my life. I vowed to never hide my family. I vowed to let myself feel endlessly and love without hesitation. I vowed to fight hate at its every turn, for I have grown up being taught to create life in the face of death, to create unity in the face of division, to create love in the face of hatred, to hope with such intensity for the future. So let's create love. Let's lead the world in peace. Let's rise up. Let's be together here at synagogue on Friday evening, on Saturday morning, without an ounce of hatred in our being, with our family by our side. Thank you.
There's some friends of Temple Israel, Donnie Zasloff and Eric Lindberg, who have been here many times. They're wonderful. And when this all happened, they wrote this song in response. During the week, you can certainly see it on YouTube. And we sent it out as they attributed it, in memory of the sweet souls lost in the tragic events at Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsford, Pennsylvania, October 27, 2018. Oh, sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there. I am but a voice, just a cry in the air, but I sing nonetheless through this pain we share.
Oh, sweet friends, come and dry your eyes and hold each other by this tree of life.
I'm angry and tired of this great divide, but I sing nonetheless with love on our side. Oh, sweet souls who feel broken now, we're here together somewhere, somehow. Time and again we have been let down, but we sing nonetheless, still whole and still proud. Oh, sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there.
It is my honor to invite the President of Temple Israel, Hillary King, to come forward now to deliver these congregational messages.
Lily, thank you for those powerful words. You give us so much hope and comfort that your generation has people like you that will be strong leaders for our future. Thank you. I am so inspired and touched by this amazing turnout. On behalf of the officers, the Board of Trustees, and the congregation, I would like to welcome Senator